Okay, so now we request everybody to take their seats. Okay, now I request everybody to take their seats. Today there was a request that we should close or conclude by 4:15 today, so that we can move around in the city to have a look on what exactly is available in the city of Jodhpur. So for that we need to be in time or on time today. हम कोशिश करते हैं सारे सेशंस ऑन टाइम चलते रहे, जिससे कि ये सेशन बाय 4 और 4:15 क्लोज हो जाए, है ना, एट द मोस्ट। आज एक बीच में वी हैव अ कलीग नवीन विद अस। नवीन थोड़ी सी अपना एक एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना चाहेंगे। इट वाज इन कंटिन्यूएशन ऑफ व्हाट डॉक्टर सिंह कम्युनिकेटेड यस्टरडे। आपने देखा डॉक्टर सिंह के साथ क्या है कि वो बहुत एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग में बात करते हैं, और जब उन्होंने बात की थी आरपीएस के कि यू मस्ट हैव सीन दैट देयर वर लॉट ऑफ एक्सपीरियंसेस व्हिच ही शेयर। सो उसी के आउटकम में वन ऑफ द एक्सपीरियंस व्हिच नवीन वांट्स टू शेयर विद यू इज, सो ओवर टू नवीन एंड आफ्टर दैट वी हैव द एक्सरसाइज।
Thank you very much, sir, and very good afternoon. I believe we are all in high spirits, high energy levels after having coffee. Okay, it's just experience sharing. Just like आपका main खाने में थोड़ा सा अचार। So how idea is how even some kind of traditional concepts can be effective, and as scientists, as policy makers, we need to look into these aspects as well and think of conducting some kind of research and generating evidence, and based on that we can think of policy. So sir was mentioning yesterday, like the usual tradition in the South India is when a baby is born, it is usually placed in such kind of hammock or sling with the saree, the cotton saree of mother or the grandmother, which is usually used. So this is my own personal experience. So based on the advice from Professor Arun sir, he started following it. I am basically from Mysore. Even though my grandparents, even my mother, my in-laws were aware of this, immediately at that moment we often forget. What happened was my son was delivered at 8 months. After completing 37 weeks of gestation, due to some oligohydramnios, he was delivered by cesarean section. And initially what we do is we make the baby lie flat on the bed. As we assume that he can also sleep well on that. What was happening was, when we made him lie sleep on the flat surface, he used to get irritated. He was irritable. He was not sleeping well at night. So because of that, even the mother, my wife, was not getting good sleep. She was becoming irritable. So all these things, and we have to take care of the temperature as well. So then, sir has advised to use this kind of method. So then again, वो बत्ती जलती है ना ट्यूबलाइट जैसे, हाँ पहले भी हमारा पेरेंट्स करते थे, हम क्यों भूल गए, कहीं ना कहीं ऐसे भूल जाते हैं, प्रैक्टिस से कहीं हम खो जाते हैं. So then we adopted this. So you can see here how he started sleeping well. In night sleep, the quality was good. He was less irritable. And one more advantage was the temperature was very well maintained in this. So in the summer, he was feeling comfortable. Even during winter, with some cotton sarees or cotton lungis, he was very much comfortable. The temperature was very well maintained. And mother had a good quality sleep. Everybody was happy. Otherwise, my wife getting irritated and मुझे ये बता क्यों बच्चा हो गया, वो होता है ना पोस्टनेटल जो भी शुरू हो जाते हैं, ऐसे दिमाग में आते जाते. But it is a simple practice if you look at it. So देखिए comfortable, वो जो सर कहते हैं immediately जो बच्चा बाहर आता है यूट्रस से, यूट्रस के अंदर ऐसे यूनिवर्सल फ्लेक्शन एटीट्यूड में रहता है, हम तुरंत उनको फ्लैट डेटा लेते देयर इज लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम। जैसे इसमें हल्का सा, इट्स नॉट एग्जैक्टली द यूट्रस बट थोड़ा सा बेंड होता है, सो इट इज स्टिल फीलिंग दैट इट इज इनसाइड द यूट्रस एंड द बेबी वाज एबल टू स्लीप वेल। So now he is 1 year 8 months doing absolutely fine. We are very happy. So he is comfortable. He is having sound sleep. He is having better feeding, less irritable, and undisturbed sleep for now. Mother is also happy. So he is experiencing the joy of that mother. So that's good. So why we are just focusing on this here in policy? So now we need to think. This is a single case scenario. So we can think it's not that all the traditional practices are bad or all are good. We are all scientists. We can think of conducting some kind of research based on that. Actually, we were discussing, we and Pankaj sir, Arun sir, how to go about doing a research, community-based trial. So definitely, if even the ICMR, some funding agency comes forward, then definitely we can go ahead and do a research, generate the evidence, good quality research and the evidence, and the same evidence can be utilized as a policy makers at different levels. So that's the purpose of just sharing this information. Thank you all for patient listening.
Thank you, Naveen. I think that is very important because when somebody shared the experiences of what he himself have gone through or kind of what he really experienced. So now we are going to start another exercise, and that is something which is stakeholders, metrics, analysis, and yeah, such as.
So before you go to the next time, this thing to be presented at National Summit on Food Practices and Innovation.
In our conference. Yes. Sure, I think that's a very good idea, sir. So what we are going to do is हम अब जो इंटरेस्ट पावर मैट्रिक्स की बात करते हैं, कहने को ही हम सब जानते हैं, बट आज थोड़ा सा ऐसे मेथड्स के हिसाब से पढ़ते हैं। आज मनोज इज देयर, नितिन इज देयर, दे विल टेक यू थ्रू दिस। एंड इसका सिर्फ बैकग्राउंड इतना है कि शायद हम में से सब लोग जानते हैं कि हम में से कुछ लोग कुछ काम कर पाते हैं और हम में से कुछ लोग कुछ काम नहीं कर पाते हैं। दो कारणों से ऐसा होता है, एक तो इंटरनल मोटिवेशन होता है और एक दूसरा होता है शायद हमने सही आदमी पे सही पैसा खर्च नहीं किया। दैट मींस जिस आदमी को पकड़ना था उसको हमने नहीं पकड़ा। वी एक्चुअली वर नॉट अवेयर whom to approach, where to go, कहाँ जाना चाहिए था, कौन ज्यादा पावरफुल था और किसको ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट था। तो आज ये इंटरेस्ट पावर मैट्रिक्स समझते हैं। एंड many of us know, if we know actual person whom to contact, whom to work with in policy, it really helped us in getting to the final outcome. So over to Manoj and over to Nitin to have this stakeholders analysis.
Thank you, sir. When we talk about policy making, the stakeholders play a very important role in policy making. So when we talk about stakeholders, so can anybody attend and who are the stakeholders in policy making? How we define the stakeholders? Who are the stakeholders in policy making? Key contributors or those who are affected by the outcome. So those who will affect the policy or policy making or those who will be affected by the policy. These are the basically stakeholders. So हम stakeholders की बात करते हैं तो we talk about stakeholder management in policy making. जैसे कि आपके डायग्राम देख सकते हैं, there is a stakeholder management. जब हम stakeholder management की बात करते हैं, there are two parts: stakeholder analysis and stakeholder engagement. तो सबसे पहले हम stakeholder analysis करते हैं, जानने की कोशिश करते हैं कि who will be the potential stakeholders जो हमारी पॉलिसी को इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं या फिर इन नेगेटिव और इन पॉजिटिव दोनों तरीके से देखना पड़ता है, वो कितना पावर होल्ड करते हैं। तो उसके लिए सबसे पहले हमें स्टेक होल्डर आइडेंटिफिकेशन करना पड़ता है। क्योंकि जनरली आइडेंटिफाई द स्टेक होल्डर्स, उसके लिए क्या करना पड़ता है, हमें ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग करना पड़ता है। ये देखना पड़ता है कि हमारी पॉलिसी के अंदर कौन से ऐसे लोग हैं जो हमारी पॉलिसी मेकिंग को इफेक्ट कर सकते हैं और ऐसे कौन से लोग हैं जो हमारी पॉलिसी के लगने के बाद में, चालू होने के बाद उसे इफेक्ट कर सकते हैं। These are called as stakeholder identification process. Once we do the stakeholder identification process, तो हमारे पास एक लिस्ट आ जाती है identification के कितने stakeholders होंगे। Then we try to prioritize the stakeholders. जो prioritization होता है, that is based upon the power and interest they hold in a particular policy making or policy development. तो इस तरह से एक matrix बनाते हैं जिसमें 4 quadrants होते हैं। In the one quadrant we have power और एक दूसरे axis होता है interest। अगर आप इसको देखें तो हम जब अपने स्टेक होल्डर्स को आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं, एक आपको एक डॉक्यूमेंट भी दिया हुआ है हम लोगों ने ऐसा, ये डॉक्यूमेंट Let's talk about the stakeholder analysis and power interest matrix. So you can also go through that, and when we make 4 quadrants, तो उसमें हम लोग देखते हैं कौन से stakeholders ऐसे हैं those who carry high power and high interest. ऐसे जो लोग हैं जिनके पास high power होती है and they have the high interest in the policy making, तो हम उन लोगों को closely manage करते हैं, because they are very important person to us. So when you see the second page. On the second page, you will be seeing some different types of stakeholders, 4 categories of stakeholders. The first one is high power and high interest. For those we need to manage them closely. आप इस diagram में देखते हैं जो manage closely में वो लोग आएंगे high power और high interest. Second are those people, those who carry high power and low interest. तो जिनका power high है, उनका interest low है, तो हम उसे रखते हैं keep satisfied category. Because we need to satisfy them, that's all, because they don't have that much of interest in the policy making. But they can influence our policy in a negative way or a positive way. So we need to satisfy them. So and the third is low power and high interest. So जिनके पास low power है और high interest है, हम उन लोगों को adequately informed रखते हैं, मतलब keep informed रखते हैं. And fourth category is low power and low interest. तो ऐसे लोगों को हम लोग सिर्फ मॉनिटर करते हैं, क्योंकि ये लोग जो हमारे इनको हम देखते हैं कि कहीं ना कहीं इनसे मिस नहीं करते हैं. So based upon this power interest matrix, हम लोगों ने आपको एक record challenges का document देने को फाइल किया. तो हम लोग जब आज power interest matrix की बात करेंगे तो we talk about identifying the stakeholders. So once you read that particular document which says about the tobacco challenges, उस challenges के अंदर policy making तो आप ये देखेंगे कि प्रति कौन-कौन से potential stakeholders हो सकते हैं if you want to make a policy for tobacco control in India. तो there are potential stakeholders, तो पहला step होगा कि आप इसे identify करेंगे कौन से ऐसे stakeholders हैं जो tobacco control policy बनाने में आपकी help कर सकते हैं या affect हो सकते हैं. So you need to enlist them. Once you enlist them, then you need to prioritize them based on the power interest matrix.
Okay, so this is a group activity. So please make 4 or 5 groups, 4 persons in each group. Now you know how to make the group. So please make one group, 4 persons.
In the morning, we had several groups, so we can.
It's up to you, sir. You can refresh them. You can make new groups. You can have new partners in the group. So please make 4 groups. इधर आ जाइए सर. 4 लोग, 4 ग्रुप बना लेते हैं. किसी में 4, किसी में 5 ऐसे करते हैं. इधर भी 3 ही है, उस ग्रुप में भी 3 ही है. You can join. You will have to go by your experiences. It's a group activity, so you have to discuss among the group like who are the key stakeholders as per your understanding in this particular policy. So first list them, then choose a leader from your group, from your respective group, and that leader will take out his or her flip chart, and this matrix will be drawn at that flip chart, and that group, that leader would be presenting it at the end of the activity. So this is the complete activity. You will have to make a matrix in the flip chart, and then you will have to come forward and present it. So there will be total 4 presentations. Please make 4 groups, 4 to 5 participants in one group. आप लोग या तो इधर ज्वाइन कर लीजिए, एक इधर आ जाइए. Yes. So इधर आ जाइए मैडम. ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं। आप भी सर इधर ज्वाइन कर लीजिए, किसी भी ग्रुप में ज्वाइन कर लीजिए। So the thing is, it's a group activity. I'll repeat the instructions again. It's a group activity. So you will have to first list down the stakeholders. Discuss among your group. Discuss करके पहले पता करिए कि आप किस को stakeholder मानते हैं for this particular policy. Regarding this policy, we are given one policy, tobacco control. So उनको list बनाइए. List बना के then you make matrix your flip chart. Choose any one member who is going to present this activity. जैसे मान लीजिए आपने प्रेजेंट करना है, तो आपका फ्लिप चार्ट आप ले लीजिएगा, देन यू मेक मैट्रिक्स फर्स्ट पेज के बाद नेक्स्ट पेज में मेक ए मैट्रिक्स इन दैट फ्लिप चार्ट एंड उसके बाद हाई पावर वाले हाई इंटरेस्ट वाले कौन से हैं स्टेक होल्डर्स में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट दोस स्टेक होल्डर्स इनटू दोस ग्रुप. दिस इज दैट. देन समबडी फ्रॉम योर ग्रुप इज गोइंग टू प्रेजेंट इट. जैसे आपके फ्लिप चार्ट में लिखा गया है तो आप प्रेजेंट करेंगे. सो यू कैन डिसाइड हु विल बी लीडर फ्रॉम द ग्रुप.
And one more thing, important thing, please remember that stakeholders are not only persons, they can be institutions or organizations also.
Yes.
Stakeholders are not only persons, they are institutions, persons, individuals or organizations.
Stakeholder can be any institution also. And second thing, interest can be positive as well as negative. Please keep that into mind. Interest can be negative also.
So for the quadrant, you can see the file in which we have made one quadrant, 4 quadrants. You can have the positive power and negative power also, positive interest or negative interest also.
So we'll give 15 minutes. 15 minutes to work out. All the groups will be working on the same tobacco policy.
Yeah, that is fine. That is fine.
जो पॉलिसी बनाने में हेल्प कर सकते हैं, ये पॉलिसी बनने के बाद इनका इफेक्ट होता है। जैसे कि मान लो लेकिन ऐसे लोग पॉलिसी जैसे कि because they are the most important person. सबसे बढ़िया पहली बार हम लोग जाएंगे ऐसे लगेंगे जैसे कि मान लो जैसे कि वर्किंग हाउस ऑफ वर्किंग हम लोग बस मॉडल करना होगा कि क्या कर रहे हैं ऐसा बस चेंज हो जाए अपनी पावर चेंज हो जाए
Okay, so are we ready? Can we start the presentation? 5 more minutes. Okay, so we'll start with the presentations. So one group is ready. So first group, Francisco group. So please pay attention. Please listen to the presentation.
So, everyone, I'm Dr. Stuti Bhargav. I'm from the Division of Non-Communicable Diseases in AIIMS headquarters. And I happen to be the program officer for the activities of tobacco control from AIIMS headquarters. So, we've tried our best, and more than what was provided with the published literature, this is also some of my personal observations. I have been working in tobacco control for almost like 14 years now, ever since my post-graduation. So the first thing we are looking at is high power and high interest. So primarily it is the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, state governments. Then under MOHFW it is DGHS, National Tobacco Control Program. Second body that is very active in India is WHO. They have brought in regulations like Empower and FCTC. India had ratified FTCC in 2004. The research bodies, government organizations such as ICMR, DHR, that is Department of Health Research, legal bodies, they come in picture because they are helping in creation of various legislation and their implementation. What are the various activities actually MHFW looks after? So primarily health-wise, IEC, that is spreading the information across. This is a bit of personal criticism of mine, but if I say that what is the tobacco control or any kind of public information you recollect, there are two advertisements that are frequently coming on television. One is Mukesh Harne and other is Sunita. And God bless those souls, but about time we let them rest. So it's literally been a decade, nothing new, no new material has come up again. Sort of general population becomes desensitized to this issue if the same message is getting repeated. Every time you go into a movie theater, there is Mukesh Harne taking his last breath. Every time you're putting on the radio, it is Sunita speaking about her issues again. So, it is my personal opinion that population has sort of become desensitized to these issues, and maybe we need to come up with newer IEC material. Thanks for maybe the criticism, but Instagram and social media like these have ruined most of us. So, every youngster, especially every millennial with a smartphone in their hand, is now a filmmaker. So maybe kind of introduce some programs at school level, college level, let these youngsters involved. I'm just sharing a couple of suggestions being a national program officer for it. So, maybe start a competition, let these kids create some kind of IEC materials, and then this in coordination with your state governments and national government, these messages can be then broadcasted. So, and apart from that, some other things like pack warnings, again, numerous efforts are being taken for smoking tobacco, but not so well implemented for smokeless tobacco, especially the losing the pandemic preparations. Some other things, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare will start with price and tax, then training, creation of suggestion facilities. For price and tax, as far as my information goes, tobacco is again available from us from 5 rupees packaging to the most expensive Cuban cigars costing maybe 50,000 apiece. It is a personal rule of mine, never speak against the government you are working for, but I don't see much happening in the price and tax bracket.
Excuse me. So, price and tax, you have put in the stakeholders list.
No, I'm just explaining what are the activities they are looking at from my personal experience. Some bit of my experience also I'm sharing. Some pros and cons of what the real situation is. And training, one very good thing they have done is along with the National Oral Health Program, we are having over 300 dental colleges in India, so they have made it mandatory for each of the dental colleges to have a tobacco suggestion center. That is a very welcome step. Otherwise, but then again, there is the issue that the entire of our medical or dental curriculum, the topic of tobacco suggestion is not taught in our curriculums. So, अपने center तो खोल दिए पर लोग suggestion करवाएंगे किस चीज से? Just sharing my practical experience.
Yes, I can. But the thing is, when we are presenting a matrix and that to stakeholder analysis matrix, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I may be wrong. So, but my opinion is, it should be, if you have put Ministry of Health and Family Welfare in high power, high interest, then you should justify why it is high power and why it carries high interest. So instead of saying that trainings are required or IC material should be changed, these are recommendations basically. But
I'm just sharing my experience.
I got your point, ma'am. But it's a program, is a very big program and policy. So here we are discussing only the matrix. So I would say.
Okay, I'll just restrict to that.
Yes.
I'll restrict to that. I will note your point. The next thing, if we are looking at the negative things, the side that has high power but sort of a negative interest, that is the tobacco industry. All of us who are working in tobacco control have encountered, for better or for worse, tobacco industry interference at some point. Then I would come to this sector. This is quite active. Low power and high interest. The relative power is less, but they are having very high interest. In that, there are civil societies and NGOs and independent activists. Several of our NGOs, such as Hriday is there, they are doing remarkable work in this. Hriday is there, HELIS is there. But I do not know how much of that is actually trickling down to the policy level. The next thing is low power and low interest. So here I'd like to mention about the individual roller or individual cultivator. They have been motivated by their unions and thing. That particular farmer who is cultivating the tobacco plant or rolling the bedi, they do not have much say in the matter, neither they are interested. For them it is just a matter of two square meals a day. And users, yes. So if you are selling it, they'll be buying it, they'll be using it, they'll be happy. Remove it from the market and then see. But just because research promotion is a very important part of my job, just let me point out one last thing. The issue of academia here. Academia should be a high power, high interest thing. But please take it as a constructive criticism that not much of very high level research is coming from academia. So those of you who are in regular faculty positions, if you can please take it constructively. ICMR is willing to fund your projects, but please come up with something new. Most of the studies that are being submitted, they are repetitive or not having much of real world influence. The translatory value is low. So if this can be taken up as constructively. That was it from my side.
So academia, you are putting high power and low interest.
Yes. This is the absolute reality of the day. So, and maybe a constructive criticism.
Okay. Any comments or any suggestion from any group member?
government of India may have positive interest also and negative interest also. You see, on one side it is earning lots of revenue, and state governments are also earning lots of revenue. But at the same time, they are worried about the patient's health also. So both ways they are acting. So probably something needs to be done and policy defined in such a way that. Okay, yeah.
Okay, one more important thing in this particular matrix is there is no, I would say, demarcated boundaries. Any stakeholder can be converted or can be like part of two groups also. So there are overlappings also in this. It's a dynamic matrix. So they can, ultimate aim is to shift them, whosoever has positive interest, has high power. So ultimate aim is to find out those stakeholders to whom we are going to manage. Any other question or comment from any other participants from that group?
You have put individual cultivator. So I feel tobacco farming industry is the stakeholder with a high power. No, but you haven't mentioned it. Tobacco farming industry. Sir, tobacco. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you have included both in the tobacco industry. Individually.
Thank you. So, yes.
Yes. International organizations like WHO, UNICEF, and FDA.
One comment from my side there. Like you have placed the academia in the high power and low interest.
So I'm saying
No,
it should be here. It should be here in high power and high interest.
So why should be in the high power? Because how can academias can be on high power? Yes. But evidence making is different even policy making is different. How to influence that?
So, but in policy making, power definition is different.
Power is, that's why I'm saying that power is low, interest may be very high.
So that
You can serve as a good advocate for policy making because they generate the evidences.
If I may add to the discussion about academics being in the powerful and in fact in the most influencing way, the best example in India is the ban on e-cigarette. So the white paper was actually released by the ICMR and it was then actually discussed in the parliament, and immediately that e-cigarettes in India was banned. So there could be a possibility that academic institutions might do research, but that might not be actually get recognized as the policy figure. But we have at least few evidences where the direct impact on the academic institutions, in fact, a white paper has actually greatest impact, and it's been actually considered as one of the most outlier examples in the tobacco control area. कि जहाँ पे e-cigarettes को introduce अभी हुआ अभी वो just infant था 1-2 साल हुए थे and then India actually banned it. So there could be a possibility, but we have at least one example.
Thank you for pointing.
What I was saying is, as a program officer, just let me share some real statistics from ICMR. In other areas where we are receiving hundreds and literally thousands of projects, in tobacco control, we don't even receive 15 a year. So that is where academia needs to get a little more active. policies will be based and designed and influenced based on the researches that are being conducted. So come up with some hard evidences for us.
Thank you. Thank you for your suggestions. So I request the next one. Dr. Prashant, in the interest of the time, what we can do is like those things have already been discussed, so we should not repeat those, and then we should just talk about the different things which we have. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone. And first of all, I would like to thank my entire team of actually, putting the things over here. And what I would be very briefly discuss about the people or the organizations who are in the powerful positions and which can be in a positive way affect the tobacco control or tobacco. It is the WHO first, which has a very structural thing at FCTC framework, Convention on Tobacco Control, and almost 180 countries have actually signed that declaration. So every country who has actually signed the declaration are actually mandated to work on the tobacco control. Then we have the MOHW again, NTCP program is there. Then we have the government health agencies like AIIMS or AIIMS, which has their own influence by actually producing the very evidence-based research. Then we have the laws and the legislation, because if that is not in the place, then all the efforts at the policy level would not be ultimately implemented at the grassroots. Then we have the state health ministries, and in that Bihar is a very exceptional example where the health minister Mangal Pandey has been actually promoting all sort of this tobacco control efforts in Bihar. So if the state, since health is a state subject, so states health ministries are included. Then I have actually put mass media in both the columns, because mass media, what we have actually seen is that it has both the positive outcomes as well as if it is being used in a very negative way, then it actually could lead to a wider use of the tobacco. And in the powerful metrics, and which is opposed to the tobacco control efforts, the topmost is the tobacco industry. Then followed by the farmers. Groups who are actually engaged in the tobacco production. Then we have a celebrity endorsements, so again that finance and all actually comes into the play, and the mass media on the very supportive way, but the groups who is having a very least say on the tobacco control, we could actually list NGOs, SHGs, like Women's Health Group. Then we have the healthcare workers, be it doctors or ASHA. They keep actually saying about the tobacco use during the pregnancy, but these actually women are not being provided with the adequate support. Then we have the family members. So almost all the women in the tobacco users, they keep on actually saying, and they are the ones who are actually, facing the disadvantage of the tobacco use. So they have their own say. Then we have a good amount of current tobacco users who have actually said that they would like to quit, but they haven't been provided the adequate support. So they have their say at large, but they are very less say. Then we have the gram panchayats and the local bodies. So they also want their areas to be tobacco free, but they have a very less say at the policy decisions. Then we have few stakeholders like tobacco users or their groups who are actually keep on saying or advocating the the benefits of the tobacco use, and they actually promote their habit as a human rights or their individual's choice. So that also have their say. Then then very importantly, and we have actually seen during the COVID-19 is that there are the groups or the people who have been actually funded by the tobacco industry, and they are the scientists who are actually trying to work on like promoting the tobacco use during the COVID-19. And these groups are actually being promoted by the tobacco industry. So these are the groups who also need to be having their say on, if you write an article or just tweet on e-cigarettes, you will immediately see that almost 5 to 7 junk retweets with their comments, ultimately bash you about the e-cigarette evidence or whatsoever. So these actually lobbies are promoting both off the record and on the record their false evidences. Then we have the tobacco vendors, very powerful group. They in fact actually bounce to the ministry with so many of the letters that this is ultimately harming their livelihood. And many a times, what we have the example from MP that MP government has actually stopped all their tobacco control efforts when their entire room of this size was actually filled with their letters from the tobacco vendors. So these all the actors might be having their influence, but these are still uncountable. There are many with respect to the area and the tobacco product which you would ultimately choose. So that's my take.
Thank you, Dr. Prashant. You rightly said that e-cigarettes have a lot of conflicts and there are a lot of school of the e-cigarettes because some people think they are the mode of harm reduction and there's some think that they are the mode of harm promotion. So I think there's a comment from this.
Hello. First of all, while we are talking about policy making, so in that family members of users, tobacco users, they have no role. Because to us, but if we are talking about policy making, maybe the NGOs will, or the civil bodies, civil organization bodies will talk to them, they will do some social studies, get some data, give it to the ministry, that is a different issue. Ministry can itself do it. And although they cannot, they cannot influence a policy. That tobacco users have a weak, supporting policy on who smokes. The support there should be a policy. You can think of that, but I do not think that is a part of the policy of the family individuals. And secondly, the opposed, those who oppose, the lobbies supporting tobacco. Industry is definitely there, but researchers influenced by tobacco industry funded studies, it is not happening right now nowadays. So that cannot be part of the policy, antagonizing the policy. At the same time, policy vendors like Manik Chand presents 77 Filmfare Award, and but Manik Chand is opposing, pressing government so that tobacco, there should be no tobacco policy, no tobacco prevention policy, tobacco should be in. That is, I think, it is.
It's more of surrogate advertising than a policy issue.
Well,
Surrogate advertising and policy.
yeah, sir, I would also actually like to, beg to differ from your view. I think the best, person to ask about that, how the tobacco industry actually works behind the scene among the
Tobacco users.
Yeah. So sir, the best example how the tobacco users would ultimately influence the thing is that in the GATS, we have one question to all the tobacco users that how many of you would like to intend to quit in next 6 months or maybe 1 month and so on. Almost 64% of the people have actually said that that they would like to quit, and that ultimately go to the health ministry that they have now actually been saying that there is a clear unmet need of the tobacco cessation. Though we have the quit lines, but we haven't have that much of the impact or monitoring of the quit line, that how many of the people have actually access to the quit line, and particularly among the vulnerable population like women. How many of the women have actually access to the quit line? So what I intend to say is that they might not be a direct people, but they are the direct beneficiaries of the tobacco policy. So we can't actually miss their opinion, and opinion are being formed by the NGOs or like the academic institutions, while we keep on saying about the community-based activities. So that would ultimately reflect in our opinions, our reports. So in that perspective, I am actually highlighting it their interest.
Dr. Prashant, just one thing. I partially agree with you, but GATT surveys itself receiving some criticism. The country that is about to become the most populous in the world, from each state we are just taking 1,500 individuals. So how much are we relying on the GATTs unless we change it?
So, by and large, almost all the large, surveys which have been actually conducted in India has their own, limitations. If we let's actually forget about the GATS. Let's actually talk about the NFHS, which actually collects 6 lakh, women. It is the largest ever survey being conducted on Earth in a population. Still, it has a many limitations. So these are being actually considered as a snapshot of the population and not the true representation of the things. And about the limitation of the surveys, even many of the demographers have actually said that the censuses are not been actually accurate, where we actually say that it is 100% of the enumeration of the population. So even that has some age heaping and so on and so forth. So I'm not actually going into that detail about the GATS and its limitation. But what here we are mainly referring is that GATS and this kind of surveys are being ultimately seen by the health ministry or the respective state health ministry to just understand what is the unmet need, how the things are in their own, population. So in that, respect, it is considered to be a voice of the users, not the researchers, because you ask the question to the users, and whatsoever they say, we actually take it at the face value first, and then we actually involved in the data quality and also that actually comes later. So that's
okay. So in the interest of time, what we will do now is that we will be coming to, we will be giving time to others, but there will be very less kind of a discussion because we need to go time wise also, and I think that's a tough job. इसलिए मैं बीच में कूद गया, and but it's my job. So we will be specific questions, no comments. So we'll be taking questions only. So we'll not be inviting comments. Thank you, Prashant. Thank you so much. So now to the third row. Who's the third? If anybody wants to add, let's yes.
We need to repeat the same thing.
What was the? It was GATS, tobacco control.
It was just common.
Achha. Yes.
So whatever is discussed may not be repeated.
Yes, that's also डिट्टो ही रखना है उसको. अगर आपको कुछ ऐसी बात कहनी है तो आप कह सकते हैं बाकी डिट्टो था. That's the additional points.
Most of the points have been made by both the teams. So I know pediatricians have a slightly tunnel vision. So I would say that one group that has not been discussed is school teachers. Most of the people who are taking up any kind of addiction, it is between 15 to 30 years of age. So hardly involved the school teachers. You will come across school teachers who can tell you that there is a pan shop near our school and every day after school I see 5 boys going there. So one, they should be involved. Second is student organizations. Again, after high school, when children are going to college, that is another important time when they're picking up addictions. So our student organizations are very underutilized to promote any health-related issues. So they should also be put on board, like MSUI, ABVP or whatever college union is there. Are they taking any supportive or action or stand against tobacco use? And if we start involving them, we are relatively naive and willing to work on a positive note, even when they are political. So I think those are 2-3 groups that need to be involved as stakeholders. And family members of patients who have been, they know how this person got addicted, who made him an addict, where is the tobacco available. So that is one group that is not. Again, one thing is regulation of advertising in the country that is completely untouched, unaddressed. So anybody can advertise anything. So anybody can advertise cola, whether they are drinking it or not. Anybody can advertise Maggi, whether they are eating it or not. And most of the people who are advertising products are not using them. So unless somebody is actually willing to, consume a product for a minimum duration of time, they should not be allowed to advertise it. So regulatory authorities are a very important stakeholder. Whoever regulates advertising, whether it is Ministry of Information and Broadcasting or Ministry of Child and Health when it comes to children. So those should also be put as stakeholders here, and they should also work on it.
Yeah, so thank you so much. So I think that makes sense. But there are a lot of things. मुझे लग रहा है वो बात इसमें निकल के आ गई होगी that all these stakeholders are important, but we need to understand where to put our money. And that's the thing which they have written here, that for few we need to identify them and we need to get them into picture and just ignore them. उसका मतलब ignore करने से भी वो policy आगे चलने वाली है. That's something जिसमें वो कह रहा है keep satisfied. वो सबसे लास्ट वाला कॉर्नर है ना ये. इंटरेस्ट उनका बहुत है, उनको आप पावर में बहुत कम मानते हो तो उनको सेटिस्फाइड रखना है. लेकिन कुछ लोग ऐसे भी हैं जिनमें इंटरेस्ट बहुत कम है, पावर भी बहुत कम है, उनके ज्यादा पैसा खर्च करने की जरूरत है, उनमें टाइम वेस्ट करने की जरूरत है. शायद दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट और वो आप लोगों के उसमें कहीं ना कहीं निकल के आ गया. बट जो मैडम कह रही है दैट इज ऑल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि वो आपको उन स्टेक होल्डर्स को रखना जरूरी है जो एक्चुअल यूजर्स हैं. सो एनीबडी एल्स वुड लाइक टू ऐड समथिंग? यस प्लीज.
So only one thing that we wanted to add is that we think that legislature is a high power and low interest group, because it depends on academia, it depends on research. So if the interest of this group is enhanced, then the policies can be implemented properly, they can be made properly. Because the policies, they are formulated based on data, which is collected and analyzed by research group, the academia group.
नहीं डॉक्टर साहब, आप अकेडमिया को हाई पावर ग्रुप में
No, sir.
अच्छा.
I am discussing about this.
ओके यस. हाई पावर एंड लो इंटरेस्ट.
Yes.
यस एब्सोल्युटली. अकेडमिया को कहाँ रखा था?
Academia, I had spoiled because the real world situation of
कहाँ? लो इंटरेस्ट लो पावर.
No, sir. We have captured these low power, high interest.
Low power, high interest. Yes. Low power, high interest. Absolutely. But जरूरी नहीं है. If you look at the state medical colleges, so low power, low interest. If you look at our institution, AIIMS, ICMR अब थोड़ा powerful दिखता है ना? AIIMS को हम हमेशा से रखते हैं low power, low and high interest. Interest बड़ा रहता है.
But we have kept ICMR as a part of MHFW in high power, high interest.
No, they don't have.